From the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Juan Pierre, Alexi Ramirez, AJ Pierzynski and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jose Bautista and the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson, along with Steve Stone, as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set and the finale of the 2011 season. In this series, the Sox have won the first two games. They won the opener 4-3, Dylan Axelrod picking up his first Major League victory. Then last night, in a very emotional setting, Mark Burley goes out, pitches 7 shutout innings. Sox won it 2-1. He gets the victory, so he went out on a terrific note. And this afternoon, trying to nail it down because we are just one game behind Cleveland, tied for second place, Philip Humber.
Philip Humber's 9-9 this year. He would love to finish in double figures. He'd also love to finish above 500, as most pitchers will. His ERA is in the mid-threes, and by and large this year was a good year for him. Probably the best he's ever had on the major league level. So he has a lot of positives going into next year. Brandon Morrow goes to the mound for Toronto. He's 11-11. His ERA is up there. It's really 4 3/4, which is pretty high for a guy with as good an arm as Brandon Morrow has. So this is one we dearly love to win. It's a season that didn't work out the way anybody thought, Hawk. It is coming to an end. You always hate to say that, but looking ahead to next year, we got to do better.
We will. All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Well, take me out to the ball game. Take me out to
on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by United. Proud to fly the Chicago White Sox.
The final day of season 2011. That's the White Sox ball club, and there will be some changes. Watch Comcast Sportsnet White Sox replays on Xfinity on demand only from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Well, it's turned into a bright sunny day here. Temperature 63 degrees, and let's take a look at how John Farrell is going to line up his Blue Jays. McCoy is leading off, and it's Thames, Bautista, Kelly Johnson, along with Cooper, Rasmus, Aaron Sebia, and a couple of former White Sox, Mark Teahan and Dwayne Wise. The Degree defensive setup, and how they'll line up behind Philip Umber. Pierre Diaz and Viciedo. In the infield, Morel, Ramirez, Beckham, and Flowers. Donnie Lucy gets a nod behind the plate. The Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Philip Umber, looking for win number 10. And this is his 26th start of the year. Well, they're throwing the ball around the infield, and hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate. We'll get this one in with a victory and tie for second place. That's a good game plan. So I'll turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you very much. And once again, good evening or good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over Comcast Sportsnet. Finale of the 2011 season. Shortstop Mike McCoy gets set to lead it off and takes first pitch, the one away. McCoy 1 for 6 in the series with a homer. That coming last night. And that's get the foul. It will. And the count 1-1. Toronto comes in at 80 and 81, hitting .250 as a club with a 4.33 ERA. Sox on the other side of that ledger, 79 and 82 with a .252 average and a 4.11 team ERA. Blue Jays 38 and 42 on the road. And that's outside.
Surprisingly, there's just a couple of day games. Most of the games on this final day of the season are night games.
Well, that's a new one. At least to me. I don't ever recall playing the final game of the season at night.
No.
Never.
Usually it ended on a Sunday. This year ending on a Wednesday.
3-1 pitch. And it's full. Philip Umber has had a good year. There for the first 3 months of the season, he was the best pitcher on the staff.
I think certainly the most consistent. You know you're going to get each and every day out. And then as the innings start to pile up, you get a little more inconsistent. But I think when he looks back at this year, he'll realize that this is probably the year that convinced him that he could start in the major leagues in a rotation all season long.
And that was just off the corner. So the leadoff walk. In fact, a lot of our pitchers have had outstanding seasons. Unfortunately, when you look at the records at the end of the year and during the winter, and you did not see this club play every day, they won't look so good. Not near as good as they could have been.
There's no doubt.
Here's Eric Thames. That ball hit hard. This guy is aggressive. One hop off the fence, so they're going to wave McCoy around. He's going to score. And the leadoff walk will cross home plate as quickly. 1-0 Toronto.
Well, we've seen in this series that anything close on a first ball fastball to Thames, he's really going to be hacking. This is RBI number 37. He gets a fastball right down the middle, and he just crushes it.
This next guy has crushed a few
chance.
himself. Jose Bautista hitting at .304, 43 homers, 103 driven in. Outfield straight up, about equidistant. Bautista 2 for 6 in the series. Guy has 97 home runs in the last 2 years. Two-0 pitch, and it's 3-0. So the leadoff walk scores, the double by Thames, and now 3-0 to Bautista, and he's hitting. Pretty good pitch on 3-0. So a lot of trouble brewing now here in the very top of the first inning in a game that could mean a nice check if they win it.
Hand in hand with the Cleveland loss. And Detroit has handled them pretty easily in the first two.
Kelly Johnson hitting at .268, 3 homers, driven in 9, 2 for 8 in the series. Yes, sir. This is the new one. This many night games on the final game of the year. I know one thing. I have never gone to the final game of the year, with the exception of a couple times that there was much excitement in other games not pertaining to your team.
No, this is a good one. This is a good final day. It could certainly turn into multiple games tomorrow, or it could very well be that both the wild card races end today. Divisional races are by the boards.
One and two the count. Well, the greatest feeling in sports to me, well, certainly in baseball, greatest feeling in baseball is when you win the last game played of the season.
Especially if it's at the end of October or beginning of November.
That's what I'm talking about. Last game played. And we did it one time in 05.
And there you take a look at the AL wild card. Rays and Red Sox in a dead even tie.
He gone. We came close in '67. We lost the last game of the season to the St. Louis Cardinals.
But you took it all the way, though. You took it to 7.
Yeah. So here's Cooper hitting at .209, a couple of homers and 12 driven in. Yeah, Bob Gibson beat us 3 times that series. First 2 games, again, he pitched against us. We had no chance. In the 7th game of the World Series, about the 5th inning, I go up to the plate. And there the runners go. Pitch is fouled down. And all of a sudden, may have been the 4th. I think it was the 5th. All of a sudden, here comes a sinker. I mean, a hellacious sinker.
Something you didn't know he had.
Well, I backed out of the box, and I'm saying to myself, this guy doesn't throw a sinker. He's fastball slider. All of a sudden, I get back in the box. Here comes another sinker. Well, he strikes me out on 3 sinkers, and I'm walking back to the dugout, and Rico Petrocelli was coming out as Rico. He's lost his fastball. Sure enough, he had pitched over 300 innings, well over 300 innings that year. Completed 28 games. He lost his fastball, and he didn't skip a beat. He just stuck the bats where they shouldn't have been stuck the rest of the game and beat us.
Oh, he probably only had plan B, and so he went to plan B.
He was something. There's the strike. So the count 2-2 to Cooper.
And David Cooper looking at his managerial opponent, Don Cooper. who's 1-0 as a manager, trying to extend that.
All right, boys, take your time and rack them up. But the leadoff walk comes around the score, and after happening at play, it's the Blue Jays 1, and our guys coming to bat.
Today, Juan Pierre leading off, then it's Diaz, Ramirez, Pierzynski the DH with Flowers, Viciedo, Morel, Lucy, and Gordon Beckham at second and hitting 9. The Degree defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Morrow, Thames, Rasmussen, Wise left to right with Tien, McCoy, Johnson, and Cooper. Aaron Sebia behind the plate, and the Lexus pursuing starting pitcher is Brandon Morrow. He's 11-11, ERA 4.78. And this will be start number 30 for him.
And before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours. For the final time in 2011, Juan Pierre will lead it off. Hitting at .281, a couple of homers. He's driven in 50. Takes it high and wide here at beautiful US Cellular Field. 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. That's into left field. And almost over the head of Thames, who overcharged.
Thames playing shallow, almost gets burned. He comes in a couple of steps and then has to leap. That would have been a triple for Juan had it gotten over his head. Unfortunately, it didn't.
Alejandro Diaz hitting at .322, 4 homers and 23 driven in. He's familiar with that .322 because that's what he led the International League in hitting with. .322 down in Charlotte. 0-1 to count. This is the 7th and final meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 6, they have split them. But in the last 30 games we've played Toronto, we have won 8 of them. 8-22. Nothing into the count.
Morrow's always had a good arm. He came over from Seattle in exchange for Brandon League, who's pitched pretty well for the Mariners.
Yeah, when he first came in that Seattle uniform, he could throw 100. That's foul back, so the count hangs at 1-2.
Well, Toronto decided that he should be a full-time starter because he had such a great arm. They were using him out of the bullpen a lot of times, thinking that he could be their full-time closer.
Checks it up, 2-2. Checks it up. A full count. Another souvenir. 1-0 Blue Jays if you're just tuning in. Leadoff walk to McCoy, then a double by Eric Thames scored him.
Pretty good battle by Alejandro so far. Murrow throwing some good pitches. And he's made an extended at bat out of it.
Well, he has not had many at bats since he's been in this White Sox uniform. And there's a good at bat. The 1-out walk. So with 1 on 1 out, let's check out our final picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and crew, went with Ramirez. Steve's going with Yaza. And all the great White Sox fans who this year suffered through some terrible weather and a very underachieving ball club, and we're going to go with Gordon Beckham. And we want to thank you because today, if we get 5 or 4.5 innings in, or 5, make it a complete game, we're going to draw over 2 million people. As there's a base hit by Alexa.
Fortunately, the winner of today's game earns 21 points. And
all right, Senator.
No, I mean that's the only fair thing to do. This is a special final day. No,
you still would have no chance.
Well, you got a point there. But my man did walk the first time up, and that got to count for something.
Well, he's way behind already because of Lexley. So here is AJ hitting at .287. 8 homers, 49 driven in. Takes strike 1. Outfield straight up, about equidistant. As that's jammed, popped up. Tien has looked like Brent Morrell in this series down at third base.
He's looked at times like Brooks Robinson.
I don't know about that now.
Everything that's gotten, I mean, he's gotten everything that's gotten close to him. Now,
Brooksy made some plays that nobody else saw him make.
He's not the prettiest of third basemen, but he's gotten the job done in this series.
Yes, he has. And we wish Mark nothing but the best. He is just a nice guy and a good teammate. As here is Tyler Flowers. And here's what he did last night. Off a good-looking young 21-year-old right-hander, Henderson Alvarez. That was in the second inning to give us a 1-0 lead. And that was one of the highest home runs hit to center field you ever want to see.
I thought Alvarez looked particularly good when you consider how young he is and the kind of stuff he showed, getting that fastball up anywhere from 95 to 97 consistently, and a changeup at 86 that when he got close to the plate was mystifying.
3-0 the count. Aaron Sebia wants to have a little chit chat. Tyler in the series 2 for 7 with 2 home runs, and both his home runs have been instrumental in the victories. Last night we won it 2-1 with Pierzynski knocking in what proved to be the winning run in the 6th inning. And then Tyler, a 3-run homer in the 2nd inning in game 1 that we won that one 4-3. Strike on the corner. Says Lalo.
Mark Lalo.
Gets rid of the bat on that one, and it's a full count. So 2 on, 2 out, 3-2 the count.
Bank of America pitch tracks says it had the lower part of the zone. From the side, it does indeed look like it crossed the knee of strike.
Payoff.
The fastball at 97, and Tyler was able to stay alive.
And that's ball 4. So here comes Tanks. Tanks hitting at .265, a homer. He's driven in 6, 2 for 7 with an RBI in this series. He drove in what proved to be the game winner in game 1 with a 7th inning double, knocking in Ramirez. Now feels slightly to the right.
Now we've got to enjoy this sunshine that is currently over the ballpark, because it appears it's not going to be around too long.
Count evens at 1. Sacks packed with Sox. And this, the final game of the season. Little chop right in front of the plate. Morrow's going to come home for the force. He gets it, and that'll retire the side. We threaten, can't score after 1. We trail by 1.
Only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by The Great Escape.
Colby Erasmus will lead it off here in the 2nd inning. Colby comes in hitting at 177, 3 homers and 13 knocked in. Erasmus looking for his first hit of the series. He is 0 for 7, takes first pitch strike. Yes, sir. If you'd have told me that with the weather we had this year and with the underachieving club that we were going to draw 2 million people, I'd have said, you're crazy. But we did, if we get this game in.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get it in one way or the other. We might be here for a while.
I got nothing else to do.
But we'll get it in.
What a tribute to our great fans. That's up high. Breaking ball down and in. He gone.
We don't really know who's going to be back next year, what the team will look like, or even who's going to manage it. But we do know one thing, and I'd like to congratulate my partner, Ken Harrelson, on agreeing to a 4-year contract extension. So one of the mysteries has been solved. We know you're coming back. And one of the quotes by Brooks Boyer, who's the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Sales, Hawk, is deservedly recognized as one of the game's great broadcasters, and his overall passion for the White Sox has made him a very popular legend among our devoted fans. So I congratulate you. I know it's great to know where you're going to be for at least the next 4 and possibly down the road longer than that.
Well,
and congratulations.
It really is an honor because I love this organization. As that ball hit into left center field, can of corn for Diasa by Aaron Sevilla, 2 down. But I love the organization. I love the people. I've been blessed, and I love who I'm working with. So you add all that up, why not? You know what my barometer is? I'm 70 years old right now.
Yes.
And my barometer, I can hit the ball, as you know,
yes,
300-plus yards.
Yes, he can.
At the end of the 4th year of this contract, if I can still hit his 300, then I'll keep on going.
The way
that's my barometer.
The way I've watched it, that I don't think that's going to change anytime soon with a 3-degree driver. But it's really great, and
I'm looking forward to the next 4 working with you, Stoney.
We thank you, and of course, you're in line for the Ford Frick Award. You're a nominee. Happened in 07. It happens this coming year. 2-time Illinois Sportscaster of the Year and 5-time Emmy Award winner. So congrats, and I know the fans feel the same way. It's nice to have you in the fold for a long time.
Well, I think it's going to be a good year. I think it's going to be a good 4 years. We've got some outstanding young talent. And when you put that together with what I think the changes that Kenny is going to make, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very optimistic.
Well, I do know one thing, Huck. We're going to have to get better because we saw a Detroit team get considerably better from the start of the season to the end. We saw a Cleveland team that was the surprise team, and then injuries forced them down. We saw Minnesota with just horrible injuries forced down. So I think the division is going to be better than maybe it's ever been before going into next year. Well, we've got to get that much better.
If you'd have said Detroit and Cleveland are going to be as strong as they were, I wouldn't have believed you. Nobody would have believed you.
How about Kansas City? If they get some pitching,
if they
with
get
that
some
ball
pitching,
club,
they're going to be a contender. I mean, this is going. I think it's going to be a fun time. There's some great young talent in this division. As Tien checks it up, draws the walk. So here's Dwayne Wise, a guy we will never forget. And he gets a nice round of applause. He will always be remembered by Sox fans for that right there. The catch off the bat of Gabe Kapler.
I thought it was gone. I didn't think. I didn't know if it would stay in. I thought it was going to leave the ballpark, let alone somebody catch it.
Well, as shallow as Dwayne Wise plays, and as he was playing on that ball, that's the last thing I do before the pitch. I check the outfielders. And where he was playing and the way that ball was hit, he didn't have a prayer.
Plus, he just came in the game. It wasn't like he was in the game all day. That was his first inning defensively.
As there's a chopper. Get over there. Oh, nice speed. And that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the second. It is 1-0 Blue Jays. Bottom of the second as the clouds come rolling back in.
Morrow got very fortunate. Couldn't get the ball over the plate in the first inning. As you can see, for whatever reason, 6-3 on the road with an ERA of 3.07 at home. He's been just abysmal. Unfortunately, we're not facing him at home. We're facing him in our home, which is his road, where he's been very good.
First pitch misses. Yeah, the radar looks pretty good. We got a little system right over top of us right now, but it should be cleared out of here by 2:30 at the latest. Good rip underneath it, and the count evens at 1. Ball hit down to 10. Soft line drive.
Brett caught this one off the end of the bat. Didn't have much on it by the time it got to Mark.
So here's Donnie Lucy. Donnie at 286. He is 2 for 7 with a double and an RBI. And a 2-0 count.
Well, it's never too early to see Santa Claus. Well, if he wore that all summer, that'd be one hot dude.
I don't know about hot, but he sure be ripe.
Yeah, you got to have that umbrella. You don't want to get Santa wet.
Three and 1 to count. Back him on deck. And that's ball 4. So that's the third walk issued by Morrow. And here comes Gordon. Gordon hitting at 228, 9 homers and 43 driven in. 2 for 6 in this series. He started a double play last night. It's one of the best you'll ever see by a second baseman.
Adam Lynn hit the ball, every bit of the ball. Just happened to be on the ground, and one hop with overspin, and he was able to turn it into an easy 2 after making the most difficult one hop grab.
Yeah. That hop he got was just, you can't make that play, and he did. And if you missed it, this ball is absolutely hit as hard as he can hit it. And he made it look easy. And that was a big double play. Got a bit of a cookie right there. And
yeah, Morrow got away with one. He tried to throw a breaking ball. It hung up in the zone, and unfortunately Gordon fouled it straight back. He's had a terrific year defensively.
Two down.
First strikeout by Morrow, and this was a perfect pitch. There's really not much. Watch where the 4 appears on our Bank of America pitch tracks. If the pitcher could throw 96 there all game long, there wouldn't be guys making a lot of money hitting. There'd be a few, but not many.
Here's Pierre. Hit a line drive in the left field that Thames almost misjudged. He did misjudge it, but he recovered, overcharged it, had to jump up and made the play.
every year, Hawk, and we've obviously seen more than our share of them, leaves some indelible impressions. What are you going to take from this year?
Unfortunately, I'm going to take it's in the top 2 of the most disappointing seasons I've ever experienced in broadcasting. The other one was 1984, after the 83 season, when we won 99 games, won a division by 20. And it was just according to who won the playoff between us and Baltimore, who was going to win the world championship.
Yeah, and then that was an eyelash victory.
So the expectations going into 84 were just phenomenal over the winter and into spring training. And we collapsed and imploded, and it was just devastating. And this year has been almost a devastating year for me again. So that's the thing that unfortunately I'm going to be taking from this year. It's just this is the most underachieving ball club that I've ever seen. How about yourself?
Well, missed opportunities. We'll talk about that coming back. We'll have some time as Juan Pierre goes down on strike.
Thing that's hard to beat right here, the perfect match promise. You bring home the big TV of your dreams, and satisfaction is guaranteed. Satisfaction is guaranteed as we get set to go to the top of the third. It'll be the top of the order: McCoy, Thames, and Bautista. So Steve, we were talking about what are you going to take away from this year? Ball hit hard.
That's one of the things I'll take away. Is Alejandro Diaz. We saw him play in spring training, but you never really know. We saw him a little bit last year. You don't really know how he's going to be. Then he got a chance this year to play a lot. Looks to me like he can start in the major leagues and most likely hit 1 or 2. So that's one of the good things. I think with all the hopes in spring training that both of us had, and a lot of Sox fans had about this team, the most difficult part was watching it implode because they couldn't execute defensively or offensively.
Defensively in the outfield.
Yeah, I mean that just, you know, you
the
go
infield
back.
Was terrific.
Yeah, well, the infield was fine all year. Gordon was outstanding at second base. When Morel came up to play third every day, played really solid. Alexei had a pretty solid year defensively, and of course Paul had an excellent year at first. But I can't remember a team. I can't remember one single team that had runners at first and second, nobody out. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Sometimes the base is loaded, nobody out. And we would be lucky to scratch across 1 run. Sometimes, most of the time, no runs. And that was one of the great disappointments of this year.
The pitching staff was good enough for us to get into postseason play. Pitching staff was good enough for us to have built up a lead over Tigers and everybody else.
Well, they were waiting for us for a while.
Exactly.
I mean, they just nobody was good enough to really put any distance between themselves and the other teams. And then Detroit made some pretty good moves, getting Pfister, getting Delman Young. And they did separate easily in 4 series. 2 head-to-head with us, 2 head-to-head with the Indians. They swept them all and pretty much said goodbye to everybody.
Well, that was my point about the pitching staff. We could have had a lead. They wouldn't have had the opportunity.
Yeah, it's true.
Or the initiative or the desire to go out and make those deals. So it's, as I said, it's the most. And I felt bad for the players because of the fact there was no dogging it. They were trying. It just did not get done. We started out flat this year in spring training and never got out of being flat. Bautista takes a strike to even the count at 1. He drew a walk back in the first inning.
And Omar's future, uncertain. Not that any of our futures are certain, but I'm talking about from a professional standpoint. I still believe he's got some value. I still believe he can play a little bit. He was disappointed this year he didn't get a chance to play a little bit more. He thought that might have affected him somewhat. Still very valuable to have on a ball club.
2-2 the count.
Sergio's first full year actually wasn't even a full year as a closer, because when he started the season it wasn't as the closer. And he had some great moments. I think toward the end he kind of ran out of gas. I think that's a very tough job if you're not used to it, and he had nothing to fall back on to get used to it. But he'll be better for it next year.
Well, for the positives to me, that I'll think about over the winter about this ball club going into spring training. He gone. Hook. He'll grab some bench, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still 1-0 Blue Jays. To CSN as Jonathan Taves leads the Hawks into a preseason showdown with the arch rival Red Wings. Kick out of coverage kicks off at 7 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live from the United Center. Blackhawks Red Wings tonight at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. As here's Alejandro Diaza. He walked in the first inning. Takes first pitch strike. But the positives, there are a lot of positives to me that I'll think about over the winter going into spring training. And one of them is Sergio. I mean, it's hard to believe that 2 years ago the guy was trying to play shortstop in the Toronto Blue Jay organization. And here he comes up with 30 saves. And he's still a ranked rookie out there in that category, and he's going to grow because he's got the stones for it. Certainly got the ability. And then we've got a guy out there in that bullpen that's just going to be lights out. And, of course, that's Chris Sale.
I think Chris Sale showed the league this year that they didn't want to face him late in the ball game with the game on the line because he was better than most. Now, he's going to be given a shot, I believe, at starting next year. And with the changeup that he has but doesn't use very often, he'll use it more. He's got an excellent chance of being just a quality starter, as good as he's been out of the bullpen.
Well, Johnny Danks had an off season. He started off terrific. Even though his record, he was 0-8. He was the best 0-8 pitcher I've ever seen. He could have been 7-2 or in that particular time while he was 0-8.
Well, that was the time when the bullpen was in a state
Right.
of flux and nobody could close any games.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. But the pitching, you look at Gavin Floyd. The record's not going to show it 6 months from now. 12-13 with a 437, but he pitched a heck of a lot better than that. Jesse Crane had a heck of a year out of that bullpen. That ball hit hard for a base hit. So Steve's picked a click. Leads us off here with a base hit. But what I'm actually really excited about are the youngsters. The Tanks, Viciedo. That guy right there, Jake Peavy. Billy LeBridge, rather. He's got a chance to come back and have a big year as far as look what he did this season.
Yeah, I thought this was the year of his entire career where he established the fact that he can play in the major leagues and contribute to a winning team. Not just play, but play well.
But you take Viciedo, who's got a chance to be a monster. You take Diaza, Lillibridge. Ramirez is just getting better at shortstop. Beckham is not. He's going to be a good hitter. He is not going to have the kind of offensive seasons that he's had the last 2 years. And he has just played a Gold Glove caliber second base. Morel's going to get better and better. Tyler Flowers looks like he has got a chance to stay in this league and hit for power, big time power. So the prospects for me in that respect come January 15th, which usually that's the time my metabolism changes. I'll just be ready to go to spring training as you will. That's just the way we ex-players are.
Well, we'll be ready to go to Sox Fest first.
I love Sox Fest.
And then
January 27th, 8th, and 9th.
And then from Sox Fest, it's just rolling straight downhill into pitchers and catchers reporting and spring training once again.
But I look for Jake Peavy to come back and have a big year for us. Adam Dunn, Rios, they're not going to have those kind of years again. They can't. I've never seen anything like it.
I don't think anybody can duplicate the kind of year from a quality hitter that Adam Dunn had this year. It's impossible.
Well, we've never seen it before. We have never seen it before. And unfortunately, he's a great guy, and he had to live through it. I'm just anxious to see who they're going to hire as the new skipper. I think that's going to have a big impact on this ball club for 2012. Two and two the count to Alexei. In the dirt. Quick by Diaza.
That call was not real good, I don't believe. I was kind of surprised Aaron Seavey even went ahead with the throw. That ball got away from him by a wide margin. Yeah, from that angle, looks like it might have gotten him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's close. But
Well, if he touched
Johnson
him, he gets out. If he didn't, if he missed him.
Yep.
So here's the payoff. And that's ball four. That's the fourth walk. And that'll bring up AJ. Sox fans, we want your feedback. Log on to your computer and take a quick survey, and you'll have a chance to win an autographed White Sox player photo or 2 free tickets to an April or a May game next season. So visit whitesox.com/survey. AJ popped up to Mark Tien. Takes first pitch strike. He just will give my guy that. And that ball gets away.
Bob Rosenberg says it was a wild pitch. That would be wild pitch number 12 for Morrow. Breaking a tie with Kyle Drabek.
Pick him up, AJ. 1-1 to count. Almost turned into that one. That's a Matt Abaticola for out number 2.
Morrow gets that fastball inside, shatters the bat, and AJ is left with just the hand.
And counting sales tax, another $100 bill just bit the dust. So here's Tyler. He walked. One of the 4 issued by Morrow. Another pick by Aaron Sebia. The one thing that really is going to stick out in my mind, about the season is Paul Konerko. The year he's had.
Unbelievable.
Well,
season.
you just don't see it, as you and I have seen it every day. And Paulie's going to finish at a .300 average with 31 homers, 105 RBIs, 25 doubles. Played a great first base, but the reason those numbers are so impressive to us is the fact that he had absolutely no protection all season long.
No, and it's pretty easy, or you would think it would be pretty easy to pitch around him. He was intentionally walked 17 times.
The intentional walks really don't tell the story, as you all know.
No, it's the 77 walks that'll tell the story, because
right,
they're pitching around you, inviting you to get yourself out of the strike zone. And Paulie wouldn't do it all that often.
And there is the second walk this inning, 5th. And that'll bring up Viciado. Tanks with the bases loaded in the first, hit a little chopper right out in front of the mound. Morrow came charging in through Aaron Sebia to get the force at home. Breaking ball strike. Yeah, I was talking to a few of the opposing players this year who hadn't seen us at that particular time play, and they said, you know, what's wrong with your offense? And that's what we just have not been getting it done. Ball hit hard. Takes a little Bolingbrook bounce right there, but they said, just don't let him beat you. It's that simple. Meanwhile, he did.
The fourth meal from Taco Bell. Open 1 a.m. or later.
Top of the fourth inning. A run on 1 hit. No errors for them. No runs, 2 hits. No errors for us. It'll be Johnson, Cooper, and Rasmus to face Philip Umber. First pitch strike. Johnson struck out. Back in the first inning. One and two the count to the 29-year-old second baseman.
Got him.
So the leadoff man aboard.
Bounces right off the back foot. Catches a piece of AJ. Excuse me, Donnie Lucy. And when you get a guy 1 and 2, hitting him is a little frustrating.
And here's Cooper. Attaboy, Tyler. Put it on him. So Cooper is hit into 2 double plays, and they're 2 out.
Nice play by Tyler Flowers, because once he stepped on the bag, then he knew probably there was going to be a rundown, because Johnson didn't have a chance to get off the bag all that far.
If he makes the throw to second, he's probably going to have a chance to get back in. So that's good. And here's Rasmus, struck out swinging on a curveball. Now this is the 70th anniversary of Ted Williams hitting .406.
it's still astonishing.
That's one of my great memories of the time that I spent with Ted Williams. And listening to him talk about hitting.
Jerry Reinsdorf said during that season he's pretty sure that they didn't have the sacrifice fly rule. So he could have hit 415.
That ball hit hard. Pierre is there and makes the catch. That'll retire the side. Well, if he said it, I believe it. We go to the bottom of the fourth, trailing 1-0.
Name the 3 Blue Jays who have hit at least 45 home runs in a season. We'll give you a hint. One of them's playing today. Then you can take the other 2 on your own. Think about it. We'll get back to you a little later in the game with the answer.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Brandon Morrow has walked 5 guys, given up 2 hits and no runs.
He's been exceptionally fortunate to have a 1-0 lead the way he's thrown the baseball. His stuff is always good, but today he can't repeat his release point. Can't repeat his motion.
It'll be Morrell, Lucy, and Beckham. Lower third of our order. Grant hit a little soft line drive to Mark Teahan. Right off the end of the bat. Oh, 0-2 the count. Close, didn't get it. Got a good pitch to hit right there and couldn't do anything with it. One down. And a reminder, our brand new state-of-the-art team store, Chicago Sports Depot, will be open in November. That's featuring all pro sports teams, Big Ten, and a college corner. Chicago Sports Depot has a perfect gift for you and your family and your friends. So visit WhiteSox.com for information on Chicago Sports Depot. Connie Lucy walked his first pat. Strike 1.
Looks like this inning, Morrow has a little tighter delivery. He's throwing everything in the neighborhood anyway. That's unlike the first 3 innings.
The 0-2. That's some gas right there. 97. Upstairs. You got to leave that alone. That's taboo.
One of the best pitches you can have when you get ahead is that higher than high fastball. Up and out of the zone. You can't hit it. Most hitters can't lay off. But it all ends the same way.
That ball hit deep in the left field. Stretch! Stretch! Back to the ball. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah! Yeah! Gordon Beckham with his 10th homer. And this game is tied at 1.
Gordon gets the double figures. Drives in his 44th run of the year. And it's a brand new game. Ford home run replay. This looked like some sort of a breaking ball attempt. Went into the bullpen.
And that ball hit hard. Meanwhile, Sully, Grace, and Gwen are happy as this game on the home run by Gordon Beckham tied. $5-3, and if you are the 500 texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway. A 1-1 tie here in the top of the 5th inning. Arancibia, Tien, and Wise to face Philip Humber, lower third of their order. Breaking ball strike. Two and one.
Best curveball Philip has thrown today was at strike 3, looking to Bautista to end the 3rd inning.
At the top of the zone, didn't get it.
Bank of America pitch tracks. Looked pretty good.
The payoff pitch. So the dreaded leadoff walk.
He tried to heat him upstairs. Yeah, we'll take a look at it from the side. Lance Barksdale says no, he didn't.
That's the fourth walk issued by Humber. And here's Tien. He also drew a walk. Oh, and 1 to count to 10. And of course, if you missed it, they had the press conference today announcing the 4-year contract given to Ozzie Guillen. Down in Miami. The name will be changed next year to the Miami Marlins.
And completely different colors.
In a completely different ballpark.
Well, that's going to be a good thing for that franchise.
The 0-2 pitch. Another good pitch, didn't get it.
Well, that one had the whole plate. Bank of America pitch tracks.
Hey, if you can't call that pitch a strike.
I did not call that.
Wow.
I've been up in the booth 10 years sooner.
Wow. Thrown him 5 pitches, 3 of them have been strikes, and he's still hitting.
That's true.
And a full count. Long set. Well, Mark, you had enough of them.
Take a look where the 7 appears. That one had the whole zone also.
So here's Dwayne Wise. He went out 3-1. High and wide to even accounted 1. Can't get that hook. Aaron Sevilla 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Pretty good chance he's not going to run.
Yeah, I would think that he'd be doing Phillip a favor by going.
That pitch is fouled away, and that's going to be a souvenir. 3 rows back.
Was trying hard to come back, but couldn't quite get the job done.
So some big games today. Boston and Baltimore. That's Lester against Simon. Lester going on a short rest. Yankees at Tampa Bay. Betances against David Price. He gone. 2 down.
There's the hook. Perfect pitch. Humber's curveball keeps getting better. The question is, will he get a call for a strike? That time he did. At his best, and we saw Phillip at his best this year. In a long period of time, that curveball was just devastating.
Well, about 3 or 4 starts before he got hit in the forehead, that curveball was just rolling. He had a little bit of a tired arm, dead arm, which was to be expected. Hitting his high water mark for innings pitched and everything else, but he's had a terrific season. And any time that you can look in that mirror and say, I can pitch in the big leagues or I can hit in the big leagues, you've had a good season. Now, you hadn't had a good season defensively. But we're halfway home, tied at 1. And Greg Walker, one of my dear friends, and a good hitting coach. That's the toughest uniform job in baseball.
Well, you spend tireless hours working with a lot of different guys who have a lot of different strokes. a lot of different strokes than your own. And some guys it takes, some guys it doesn't. Some guys will experiment with you. Some guys tell you absolutely not. I'm going to stay exactly this way. That's why the frustration sets in for those guys.
That's out of play. The only time you have a chance to really do what you can do is it's a nice catch, but you get it in his hat, is when you get them young. Now, there are always exceptions to that rule, like Paul Konerko. Paul gives Greg all the credit for his emergence as a guy who has got it figured out. They figured it out together. But other guys who sign big contracts and start going in a funk, a lot of times they will not listen. They think back and revert back to what they were doing when they got that big contract, and that's where they want to be. When the best thing they can do is forget about that and go back to the fundamentals, the rudiments, the ABCs of hitting.
Well, there's also another factor that is just a part of this game and a part of nature. This game is a game of attrition. As you get older, it will take things away from you, and then you have to compensate. Things you were able to do at 23, 24, or 27, 28, you might not be able to do at 32 or 33. You have to make some adjustments.
Well, that's what I was just talking about, is the fact that they won't listen.
Yep.
They will not listen. And the hitting coach can see that maybe they've lost a little something here, a little something there. He tries to explain it to them. They won't listen. I've heard Greg talk to a lot of our hitters this year, down in the cage, sat on the field, telling them the right things, and they do it in flips, and they do it in batting practice. All of a sudden, the game starts. Forget it.
Revert back to what it was.
Back to it. Because that's a foul ball. But Greg is a great man. Been a big asset to this organization. And I, for one, will sorely miss him, as will Konerko and some of our other hitters. I've said it for years, and I'll say it again. You need 2 hitting coaches. 2. It's too big a job for one man. As Ayers just poked into left field for a base hit. So Diaz will start it off with his second hit.
He knows that I need a big going away win. Takes that off-speed pitch off the corner and dumps it into left field.
Here's Alexei. He has singled and he has walked. I said the same thing about pitching coaches. Now they're starting to get, most teams have 2 pitching coaches. They have a starters coach and they have a bullpens coach. But there will be a time when every team will have 2 hitting instructors, one for power hitters and one for line drive hitters, because the thought processes are entirely different. You try to put the thought process into a power hitter, of a line drive type hitter, you got a good chance of killing him. And that is a fair ball over the bag, says Fielding Culbreth. So here comes Diallo. He's being waved around. He's going to score.
Well, the fan grabbed the ball. Now the question is, Diaz would have scored easily. It's a ground rule double. I would assume they would allow him to score.
So it's a 2-1 Sox lead.
Fielding Culbreth said yes, indeed.
Well, that is fan interference. That's fan interference. So that being the case, that's fan interference can be under umpire's discretion. Ground rule double cannot.
Right. What they're going to do here is figure out if Diaz should have gone back. He would have scored had that ball not been impeded.
So we'll see what their decision is going to be. Meanwhile, that's Alexei's 31st two-bagger. Alexei, I'll tell you, he just keeps getting better. And he's so durable. You would think he'd be the most frail guy on the club as far as stamina goes.
Plays every day.
Every day.
Every day. John Farrell, obviously, by the decision, which would be to allow Diaz to score, John Farrell not very happy with that.
Well, on a ground rule double, that's when a ball will bounce over a fence.
Right.
Then he has to go back to third. On a fan interference, that's umpire's discretion.
Umpire's discretion. For some reason, fans cannot get it into their heads not to reach into the field of play and touch a live ball. And you can tell it's a live ball when the runners keep running.
It's awful tough. It's awful tough when you see that ball coming to you that you know you can grab.
Yeah. But everybody's running and the umpire has already pointed at fair territory. Anyway, John Farrell loses that one, and his Blue Jays lose the lead.
So here's AJ. He's got a job to do here. AJ has popped to third, and he has popped up to second. The exact pop up to second was a Matabatacola. That'll get the job done. Stretch, get on back there. Right on the track. Wise hauls it in, and he gets it done. Alexei into third, one out. He just missed it.
AJ went up with the idea to pull everything, and of course Morrow helped him out by throwing that ball inside. Dwayne Wise, who can get back there in a hurry, able to make the catch.
Dwayne's one of those guys, he can get back there with the best of them, as shallow as he plays.
And now the infield has to come in at all four positions.
Tyler has walked twice. Arancibia with the block. Tanks on deck. Chasing that bad one, got the count even at one. Checks it up. So he chased the bad breaking ball low and away, and they come back with a fastball up and in. Hadn't thrown a strike yet. And it's 1-2.
He's at 87 pitches with just one out here in the fifth inning.
Two down, and it's up Viciato.
Still hasn't thrown a strike in that at bat.
Tanks 0 for 2. Couple of ground balls. One back to the pitcher, one to second.
United Airlines leaders of the game. That's 200 strikeouts. 7th best in the American League for Brandon Morrow.
He's got a terrific arm. Big arm. And Tanks has got a big swing. Come on, big guy. Not too much. Another nice block by Aaron Sebia. 2-5-0 for our guys. 1-1-0 for their guys. Later on tonight, Cleveland taking on the Tigers in Detroit. That'll be Zach McAllister. He's got a good arm against Rick Porcello. 14-9 for the division winners. And our congratulations go out to the Tigers, who tried to let us hang around. All of a sudden, they improved their ball club and took off.
They still find themselves one loss in back of Texas. Texas have won 5 in a row.
Yes, he did go. And that'll retire the side, but we pick up one. We'll go to the 6th leading by 1. Johnson to face Philip Humber. Thames 1 for 2, an RBI double back in the first inning. That pitch high and wide. Count evens at 1.
We're getting back to the fact that Detroit has one less win than Texas. The reason why that becomes of critical importance is the wild card's coming out of the East, either Boston or Tampa Bay. That means they can't play the Yankees in the first round. That means the Yankees will play the division leader with the worst record. If it's Detroit, they're going to have to go to Yankee Stadium, or Verlander will probably go head-to-head with Sabathia in that first game.
Yes, he did. Lucy with the throw, not in time, so they get the lead man aboard.
Here's our AT&T trivia question. Earlier we asked you, name the 3 Blue Jays who have hit at least 45 home runs in a season. One of them is in the game today. That's Jose Bautista. George Bell in 1987 and Jose Canseco in 1998.
So the wild pitch allows Thames to reach first, and here's Bautista, who has walked and he has struck out. Nice block by Lucy. Well, my feelings on if, in fact, the Tigers have to go to Yankee Stadium and face CeCe. I'll let Verlander go up against anybody.
I understand that, but I would rather play Texas and have the home field.
Well, certainly you would. I mean, certainly you'd like to have the home field. But I tell you, the Tigers right now, you know, I picked Texas. In my opinion, as we talked, and we both agreed that, I hate to say it because I'm an American leaguer, but the Phillies to me are the best team in baseball.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, and the records will bear that out.
But I'm going to go with Texas, and it was a real close call between Texas and Detroit. Right now, Detroit's playing just about as good as anybody.
No doubt.
About as good. I'll let them play anybody. They can tee it up against anybody.
They won 3 in a row. They won 6 of their last 10. But quite obviously, motivation might be a little bit down. However, they keep on beating the Indians, which is a good thing, especially as we keep on beating the Blue Jays. Be nice to at least tie for second.
He gone. Hook. 8 strikeouts now for Phillip.
Last time he struck him out on a curveball, and this time he was going to make sure that it wasn't a called third, and it wasn't even close to being a called third. He really expanded his zone.
Right now, that Tiger offense is as good as anybody's in baseball.
It's very good, and has been very good for some time.
I'm just a huge Victor Martinez fan. And you got Cabrera, one of the great hitters in the game. And the unsung hero on that ball club this year is Alex Avila. What a season he has had. He in the clutch. He won a lot of ball games for that team a couple of months ago. Tennis today, 20,524. And that'll give us a season total of 2,001,262. 6 consecutive seasons with 2 million plus. And that is a great tribute once again to our fans who suffered through unbearable weather this year and a very underachieving ball club.
I would say Chicago's weather is unpredictable at best. This year was either ungodly hot, very cold, or rainy, and sometimes all 3 in the same day.
Yeah, well, the thing that killed us with the weather this year is the fact that it killed our walk-up. And we still drove 2 million. So here you go. 3 strikeouts in a row, but only 2 down.
9 strikeouts for the game. Another curveball. Another strikeout. Johnson a little tardy on that curveball. By the time he realized it was going to be in the zone, he had the emergency hat.
David Cooper has been to the plate twice. Hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the first. Hit into a 3-6-4 double play in the fourth. Two and 0 the count. And there's a strike. Cooper, 24 years old, out of Stockton, California. Last year had 20 home runs at New Hampshire. Drove in 78. And there's a strike. That's going to be, I'll tell you what, I will be watching that game if, in fact, I'm watching them anyway, but that will be a heck of a matchup, Verlander and CeCe. That curveball hit into center field, caught by Diaz, got a good jump on it, and that'll retire the side. They get the leadoff man aboard, can't do anything with it. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 2-1 White Sox. Place to go for the best local sports news and highlights, and that's Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight, only on Comcast Sportsnet, and that is a fan's best friend. Morel, Lucy, and Beckham here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-5-0 for our guys, 1-1-0 for their guys. Brent 0 for 2. Takes first pitch strike. That's back. Outfield straight up, about equidistant. That's the 0-2 pitch. John, come on with us a little bit. And we're talking. Let me see here. Let me get this thing done. Go ahead and say something. Count. Yeah, good. And join us in the booth is one of our favorite guys. And he happens to be the father of Mark Burley. That had to be a very meaningful, emotional evening last night.
It was. I've seen hundreds of games over the years, and that was one of the best by far. It was a class. It was a quality start. I couldn't have asked for a better finish for the season.
Well, you know, there's an old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And with you and Pat, I'll tell you what, y'all have to be just extremely, and always have been, he's one of the best guys I've ever been around in 52 years in this game.
Well, I appreciate that. That's nice to know.
And there's some of the highlights from last night. Just an outstanding performance. 7 innings of shutout baseball. And he won his 13th. Not bad.
And John had to talk him into going back and playing when he was a youngster.
That's right.
Tell him that story.
Well, Mark had been cut his freshman sophomore year of high school. And his junior year, he came home. I kept asking him when tryouts are going to be, and he kept alluding to just like, next week, 2 weeks from now. And prior to that, he always gave me a date, and this particular year he was just very, very quiet about it. So I just happened to talk to his coach and asked him when tryouts were, and he said something like 2 days from now is the last night. So I went home that night and talked to the wife, and I told her I was going to have to talk to Mark. And we've always made it a point never to talk or tell our kids what to do. We always try to let them make up their own minds. And I went and talked to Mark and asked him what the deal was. He said, "Dad, I've been cut and it hurts to lose. I don't want to. It's just the pain in that." And I said, "Well, son, that's all part of growing up. You take the good and the bad and make the best of it. You take a bad situation, turn it around, and give it your best."
As that's the broken bat, and that'll do it. We'll go to the 7th. It's a 2-1 Sox lead.
Just trying to find out what his problem was. So he just kept telling me about how bad it hurt to lose and rejection, and so that's part of life. So I told him, I said, we never raised a quitter. I said, your mom and I didn't raise quitters. I said, you go out there and give it your best shot. If you lose, it's fair and square, and you give it your best shot, then that's fine. But you quit now on yourself, you're going to quit the rest of your life. The decision's up to you. So I didn't know for 24 hours. He came home the next day, had a big smile on his face, and asked what the deal was, and boom, he made it.
Rasmus is out for out number 1, and they'll bring up Aaron Sevilla. Well, I know that Don Cooper came to me in his first spring training, and he said, Hawk, there's a little left-hander out there. He said, I want you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. And I went down and watched him, and I had my pencil that I always keep with me in spring training, make notes. The first 26 hitters I saw him face, he threw 23 first pitch strikes. And I said, Coop, we got something right here. I said, you don't throw hard. He didn't have a good breaking ball, but all he does is got big stones and he wants to win. And sure enough, that's what he's been throughout his career. You don't throw hard, you don't have a good breaking ball,
that's right.
And all he does is beat you.
That's right. That's right.
And this, for Steve and I, it's just a joy. And he has been in his career here, he's been one of my great joys. He and guys like the big hurt Frank Thomas, Paul Canerico, Robin Ventura, those. But when you get guys like that, especially a guy who doesn't throw hard, and he's the ace of your staff year in and year out, 4-time All-Star, 9 times he has started opening day, a hitter. I don't mind telling you, last night when he walked off the mound, I know you did, and I had tears in my eyes as well.
Oh yeah, it was very hard. I was so happy for him, and I was happy for the fans of Chicago and baseball in general, but especially fans here in Chicago, that I got to share Mark with them. They hope they just come to learn and know what Mark is really all about. He's just a good kid.
Yes, he is. And, you know, he's a great teammate. He reminds me, I've told you this, and you've heard me say it many times. He is an absolutely bookend to Catfish Hunter.
Yes.
Unbelievable. The same size, the same temperament, the same sense of humor, the same kind of stuff. And Catfish is in Cooperstown. And in my opinion, if Mark wanted to pay the price and go ahead and pitch another 5 or 6 years, he's got a chance at Cooperstown as well. And he wants to go on and pitch a few more years.
Yes, he does.
I'll tell you what, as much as I love the kid, I love him almost like a second son. As much as I love him, I don't think he's going to be back. That's just my opinion. And I hate like the devil to say it, because I think some National League team is going to come in here and just overwhelm him. And
well,
if that's the case, that's business.
That's business. That's right. You know, Mark wants to do anything and everything he can to come back here. If he does, that's great. It's just the best news anybody could have.
Sure, it would be.
But if not, then we'll move onward and upward and see you in the interleague.
Yeah, well, you know, he's the all-time interleague leader in wins with 24.
That's right.
And in my opinion, I know I talked with some people in Atlanta a couple of years ago when they asked me about him, and I said, there's a ground ball up the middle. Alexei off the end of his glove, so Tien is going to reach. They'll probably give him a base hit.
It's only the second hit of the game.
And here comes Coop. But I told him, I said, you know, you want a guy that gets 200 innings for you, not going to miss any starts, win you 15, 18 ball games, and I think I think he's better right now than he's been. So we'll see what happens. But yes, Coop's going to make a change right here. Nice round of applause for Philip Humber, who has had a terrific season for us. He has proved that he can pitch in the big leagues. He departs, and we'll be back.
After a great job by Philip Humber, Matt Thornton comes on. 2-5 record, 3.39 ERA on for the 62nd time. He inherits a tying run at first base in Mark Tien, and he's going to face Jose Molina.
So 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Molina hitting at .282, 3 homers, 15 knocked in.
2 for 4 last night.
Well, he's dangerous.
Yes.
He can hit tweeners, occasional home run.
Not many infield hits.
No, he's not going to get many of those. I don't know about the National League, but he's probably #1 in this league. Slowest.
Yeah, he's right up there.
And John Burley, I want to thank him for stopping by and hopefully not saying goodbye, as that got a piece of Donnie Lucy. Hope we see him in spring training next year. What are your feelings on it? Same?
I feel the same way. I'd like to think that he would be back. Obviously, everybody on this team and most of the people in the city feel the same way.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to get pretty decent offer, multi-year certainly. And going out on the market, he's going to get an idea of his value and just what 200 innings means. And I think, you know, from a business standpoint, they might just overwhelm him to get him on their ball club, whoever they is from the other league. First of all, he fields his position. You know, he does things that allow pitchers to win games. He fields his position as well as anybody. He shuts down a running game as well as anybody. He probably enjoys swinging the bat, although obviously we don't get a chance to see him do it. He does have a home run, so
he's not that bad.
No, so I think that, you know, he does the things that pitchers have to do to allow themselves to win. And
that's the reason he wins.
Yeah, because he's not an overpowering guy, you don't have to worry about him losing his fastball. He lost that a long time ago.
That's the reason he's 42 games over 500.
That's it.
42 games over.
Yeah, it's really it's an amazing thing when you look at his stuff.
He gone. Yes. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 2-1.
Right field, and we've got a new pitcher. New pitcher is Casey Jansen.
Top of the order for us. Juan Pierre to lead it off. There's a bunt going foul. 2-5-0 for our Sox. 1-2-0 for their Blue Jays. Connell with a run in the first. Beckham tied it up with his 10th homer in the fourth. And then Ramirez doubled in the fifth to knock in Diaza, who had singled.
You see, Jansen has been in the right place at the right time. Terrific ERA and a 6-0 record.
There's a bunt. And that's foul.
Pretty good idea. If the foul line were like the other side, that one would have rolled back into fair territory.
Outfield around to the left of that gap, and that is out number 1. Eight strikeout for Toronto pitching. Sox pitching has 10.
Can't remember Juan Pierre striking out twice in one game. He had only 39 strikeouts in 634 at-bats coming into this game. Morrow got him in the 2nd, and now Jansen got him in the 7th.
Piazza has walked, singled twice, and scored once. Fouls that down. And a reminder, Hooters is the official restaurant of the White Sox. Coming into the Chicagoland Hooters location, you can watch games on their flat screen TVs, their HD TVs, and enjoy great Miller beer features. And that's into short, right center.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay. And it's a double down the line. And with the umpire's discretion saying that he thought Piazza would score, that's the difference in the ball game.
And the umpire was right. As here's Alexei, takes first pitch strike. And a count 0-2.
Addison Reed throwing in the pen.
Another reason to look forward to spring training. That young man. You got a chance.
Nice arm.
Whew. You got a chance to be a good one. Got him. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jansen, and we'll go to the 8th. It is still 2-1 White Sox. All right, our Chuck has first pitch, misses.
Apparently,
Mike McCoy.
That's the last cut in from our Chuck for this season.
You know what? I'm going to miss our Chuck.
Well,
I enjoy him. He does terrific work, and he has a terrific sense of humor. And as soon as Sarah Kustok gets finished with him in that next series they're going to do, then he will come down to us a little bit.
Well, I think we should arrange to have him call us during the offseason to give us those updates, like in,
Well, I can give them to you right now.
Around 2 or
I'm
3.
tired. Let's quit.
Around 2 or 3 o'clock.
I'm tired. I'm tired. That's all he says. I'm tired. Sarah's keeping going. I'm tired. Pretty good pitch. Didn't get it. 3-1 to count. There's our Sarah. Take him right here, Matt. No walks. Softly hit. Watch your thumbnails. 1 out. And a reminder, you can visit the official online shop of the White Sox at whitesox.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. So get your gear straight from the source. Shop whitesox.com. Eric Thames, 1 for 3, an RBI double in the first inning. Takes first pitch strike, and we want to start recognizing and thank a number of people who have done such a great job bringing you the 2011 White Sox broadcast on Comcast Sportsnet at Breaking Ball Strike. And I'm going to start off with my great friend for a long time, as Juan Pierre makes that catch, 2 down. And without question, he is the greatest director in baseball, and that is James A. Angio. What a job he does and has done for almost 30 years as director and former producer, director-producer of White Sox baseball. Jimmy, I love you, buddy. You know that, and what a great job you had this season. Also, Mike Leary. Mike is a budding young superstar among producers. He and Dave Ross worked very, very hard. Dave's been with us now 16 years. Mike almost 10. And terrific people besides that. Todd Benjaminson, who is our director today. I love Todd because he's got a nose bigger than mine. Mine weighs more, but his is bigger. There's a strike. Jim Corno Jr., the executive producer, does a terrific job. All he wants to do is do anything he can to make it easier on everybody. Mark Harper, who's our technical director, and just outstanding. If there's something wrong, he's going to fix it. As Alexei has got it. And a nice inning right there. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It is still 2-1 White Sox.
We saw him last night. 5-3. ERA 4.25. He's going to go right through the middle of the lineup. We lead by 1, looking for at least 1 run of insurance.
And to finish on with our recognition, Keon Delashahi, who does a good job down there in that truck for us. And, of course, the mayor, Mean Joe Grube. He's been with me for 22 years. 22 years. He's the man that runs this booth up here. Also, our Chuck and all the guys back at the studio. As AJ takes ball 1. And Jimmy Olsen out in Seattle, who keeps us informed about what's going on everywhere, not just here in Chicago. The ball hit hard. Get through it, Will. Thank you very much. So AJ leads it off with a single. And the White Sox front office. Brooks Boyer, head of marketing, has done such a great job. Bob Grimm. Big Bob Grimm. He's the man that, when we got a problem, that's who we go to.
And he makes sure he gets it fixed.
Yes, he does. He looks out for all of us. So AJ's getting a nice round of applause. AJ had a good year. Started off very bad and finished up very strong. And the PR department, Scott Reifert, who's been here a long time and just does terrific. Bob Bechtel, same. Pat O'Connell, Ray Garcia. Thank you guys for all your help throughout the course of the season. There's the strike to Tyler.
Escobar comes on a pinch run, carrying a very important 3rd run of the game. We can push him across.
Gets a nice little Bolingbrook bounce there, and
well, maybe not.
Rack him up. So 2 down. And today's crew: Joe Vinci, Mark Stencil, Doug Bullard, Dennis Gates, Steve Casey, Scott Jones, George Dunmore, Mike Gentile, who's on the high camera home here, John Dickinson, Dave Cella, Chilla, Frank D'Amato, Dean Anderson, Kenny Lyles, Brett Rissenthaler, Dennis Wood, Dave Campbell, Bob Schwepp, Chris Gerken, Mike Kessel, Dwayne Szymanski, and all the wonderful people at Trio Video. What a job they do. But most of all, you fans, for tuning in all season long here on Comcast Sportsnet to watch White Sox baseball. And last but not least, as that's off in the bat, to my partner Steve Stone, who what he does is as good as it gets. Steve, I've enjoyed it, buddy, for another year. Looking forward to 4
thank
more.
You. And it was nice to see the announcement today, assuming that Joe Grube also is going to be extended.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be extended?
Yep.
So then we'll have the 3 Musketeers most of the time up here, to be pretty good.
Yeah. That's high in the center field, short. And Rasmus comes on, so there's a quick inning, and we're into the 9th, leading 2-1.
to nail it down. 2-1 record, ERA a little over 2.5. Sale's been magnificent this year. Looking for save number 9. Hasn't had that many opportunities, but he's only blown 1 save this year in the limited opportunities he's had. And whether you're left-handed or right-handed, he is equally tough because that slider is pretty close to unhittable.
So Kelly Johnson will lead it off. And what hopefully will be the final half inning of 2011.
Yes, hopefully.
Johnson 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts and was hit by a pitch. That ball hit hard. Diaza. Nope. It's off the wall. So the leadoff double.
Well, unfortunately, Chris tried to get ahead of a dead fastball hitter with a first pitch fastball. Kelly Johnson crushes his ball. It stays in the ballpark, but he winds up carrying the tying run at second base.
So here's David Cooper. Nice job by Lucy. Two 6-0 for us, 1 3-0 for them. And the count 2-0. Rasmus on deck. Tying run at second. Nobody out here in the top of the ninth. 2-1 Sox lead. And the count 3-0.
Sergio Santos listening in the pen.
There's one. There's 2. He's not aiming it.
No, he's letting it go. That one to 96.
And there's a base hit. So they're going to hold. Johnson at third. And trouble of brewing here in the top of the ninth inning. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
That breaking ball has lost some snap. That one just kind of rolled over the middle of the plate. And some problems.
Here's Rasmus. 0 for 3 today. That breaking pitch slowing away.
Ryan Butterfield talking to him about this is exactly what he'd like him to do.
Cinch it up and hunker down right here, Chris. You can pitch out of this. And the count 2-0.
Here's our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Pretty much get a shot at what's going on all over the field. And if Rasmus does lay it down, if Sale gets it over the plate, he's going to try to butt it at third.
Three and 0. Pierre and Sebia on deck. There's one. There's a bunt. Looks and holds a runner. Goes to first for out number 1.
This was never intended to be a suicide squeeze. Just a regular sacrifice, so it puts now the tying and go-ahead run in scoring position.
No, if he gets the ball, he bunts it past where the runner at third can see that the ball is going to be doing the first base line, not so much the third base, because where Brent was playing. But then that's the only place he will try to score if that ball is bunted towards the second baseman.
Now they're going to walk Aaron Sebia.
That'll load him up for Mark Tien. Or two and 0. So I mentioned in game 1, talking to some Toronto people, they said John Farrell has just done a terrific job managing this ball club.
There were a lot of people that were very high on him when he was with the Red Sox, considering that he was a pitching coach.
Well, that always works. You know, if you can find somebody, there's John, if you can find somebody who was a pitching coach who knows baseball, then you got yourself something cooking. But just to get a pitching coach because he knows pitching, that's not going to work.
Well, it's not who makes the best managers.
No. So here's Tien. A walk, a strikeout, and an infield single. Bases loaded, 1 out. And that is out of play, upper tank. And nice catch. One of our fans didn't have a glove.
Didn't need it.
He's a happy camper. Caught it right in the gut.
Career with the bases loaded. I wonder if that ever included a double play ground ball.
Pretty good breaking ball. Did not get it.
There's another pitch in the zone. Mark Lalo is having some problems calling the breaking ball today.
He's not calling it. That was a good pitch. Meanwhile, here's the 1-1. That is a huge. That second pitch was a huge call.
A huge advantage for the hitter, knowing that if you're not going to get that called, he can just sit and look fastball.
Big time, big time. Here's a big pitch, a 2-1.
That one wasn't near as close as the other two. Here's the Bank of America pitch tracks. See, the second pitch we were talking about was right there. Third pitch was borderline. Last pitch, well, it's 2-2.
Almost hit him. So now a full count. With 1 out, Sox packed with Blue Jays.
Will Oman now throwing in the pen.
And that is,
I think it's a swing.
so Culber says no, and this game is tied. That's ball 4.
Well, nobody really knew what was going on in the infield. Ball gets away. Look at it from the side. Nope, he didn't swing. That was a good call.
So a 2-2 tie. Philip Humber will not get the victory. And here's Lowen. Still just 1 out. Two 6-0 for us, 2-4-0 for them. And a count 2-0. So the Indians, I'm sure some of them are watching this. They're happy. Zach McAllister against Rick Porcello tonight at Comerica Park. 2-0. 3-0. It is 3-2 Toronto. And here comes Coop. 3 consecutive walks. So Chris Sale, youngster, has been so impressive this year, has a bad outing here in the last game of the season. He departs. Sergio Santos comes on in. We'll be back.
Probably didn't think he'd see any action here today, but here he is at 4-5, ERA 3.57, out for the 63rd time. So in this series, he did pick up his 30th save, but now he's coming in just to stop the bleeding with the bases loaded. Toronto already has taken the lead, and there's only one out.
Top of the order, Mike McCoy. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Jacks it up and takes strike one. Count evens. And 2-1. Sox with the infield in, outfield, they're straight up, spread out. Two and two. Ground ball coming to the plate. They get the force, and that's out number 2.
With the infield in, you're not going to turn 2. Going to cut down the man at the plate. And now it looks like it's going to be Will Oman coming on to face Eric Thames.
All right, so Sergio will depart that. We'll be back.
Call to the pen is Will Oman. Oman a 1-3, ERA 4.25.
So here's Eric Thames. 1 for 4, an RBI double back in the first inning. And he takes ball 1. Blue Jays with 2 runs here in the top of the 9th so far. That evens the count at 1. For our guys in the bottom of the 9th, schedule hitters, the lower third, Morrell, Lucy, and Beckham. Big pitch right here, the 1-1.
Fortunately, hit like a rocket but foul.
He's aggressive. Eric Thames will turn it loose.
Hasn't had much of an opportunity with the bases loaded, but when he has, he's done okay.
Going away with a breaking ball. Down ball. Beckham's got him. But they come up with a pair. Look at the bottom of the 9th. It is 3-2 Toronto.
.16 of 20 in save opportunities. He's 1-4 overall with a .362 ERA. Up for the 54th time.
Three runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Blue Jays. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for our Sox. If you're just tuning in, Toronto with 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. So here we go. 31-year-old right-hander. Take that. 32-year-old right-hander. Thank you, Francisco. 6'2", 250 pounds, and here's the first pitch. To Brent Morrell, foul back. Outfield for the most part, about equidistant, straight up. One and one to count. Goes through that one. And that ball hit into right field. Lowen is there, and that is out number 1. So here's Lucy. Donnie is 0 for 2. A ball to strike. Beckham on deck. Come on, big guy, get it together. Blue Jays will run in the first. We tied it with one in the 4th. Homer by Gordon Beckham, his 10th. RBI double by Ramirez in the 5th, made it 2-1, and then the Blue Jays with 2 here in the top of the 9th. 2 down.
I think what Lucy is probably saying is we didn't get a curveball all day, and that's the one you choose to call.
Well, he was right. He would be right if he said it. He would be right if he said it. Bayless out right here, Gordon. He's 1 for 3 with that home run. And if you miss that home run back in the 4th.
Got into double figures with that one, his 10th home run.
And the count 1-1. And we're down to our last bullet here for the 2011 season. Of course, with a loss here, the Indians will clinch 2nd place. So 2 out, 1-2 the count. Ground ball. Tian. Can't get him. Can't get him. We're still alive.
Gordon Beckham hustling for all he was worth. Stayed alive on a curveball that was out of the zone. Mark Tian took a little time getting it across and couldn't get it across in time. And Gordon knows the season is on the line.
And no player likes to make the last out of a season.
Nope, that's true.
So here's one. He's due. He's 0 for 4. Well, with 2 strikeouts today, which is really unusual for him. Outfield is short, swung around to the left. Tian not guarding the third base line.
That was a very defensive swing.
He's had a few defensive swings today.
Let me seeing the ball real well.
0-2 the count. Ball gets away, so there goes Gordon. He's going to get into second base. Now we don't need. We just need a base hit.
Francisco throws a wild pitch. That looked like a splitter. Arancibia couldn't corral it. Now the outfield is very shallow. Lowen's got the best arm. He's in right field, but he's fairly deep. Base hit there, they won't get Beckham. Base hit to left, it'll be close.
One time, buddy. Now Arancibia wants another conference. Two out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the ninth. That ball into right field. Here comes Lowen. He's there, makes the catch, and this ball game and this season are over. So the Sox have a chance to tie Cleveland for second with a Indian loss tonight. It didn't work out that way as the Blue Jays score 2 in the top of the ninth. And Steve, it was a disappointing season. Disappointing last inning of the last game of the season.
Yes, it was.
Outside of that, buddy, I've enjoyed it, and we will look forward to spring training.
We'll have a very healthy and happy offseason, and hopefully we get some changes, come back, and have a real good ball club next year.
We will. And let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is our 28-year-old right-hander who had a terrific season for us, Philip Umber, our GMC player of the game. And so, for the final time in 2011, for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Todd Benjaminson, our associate producer Keon Dolashahi, our technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., also for the mayor Mean Joe Group, and up here in the booth Mike Gentile, Frank D'Amato. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. See you at Sox Fest.